Hello guys, it's me, Talia. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Back here with the usual shenanigans. And today, because it's the lovely month of June and it is the month where we celebrate everything queer and beautiful in the LGBTQ plus community. I know there are new letters. I haven't memorized them yet. I'm so sorry. So today I wanted to start off doing a mini series on my YouTube channel. So for the rest of this month, I will be doing a makeup inspired by one of the pride flags. Can't do them all. Upon research, I realized there is a ton, and I legitimately mean a ton of pride flags. So I literally chose 4 out of God knows how many and decided to come up with different makeup looks. I didn't want to do just a regular rainbow eyeshadow. Nothing wrong with that because I've done it before and I think they're so much fun. But I wanted to take it and challenge myself a bit further and do a character makeup based off of the colors. So I know the next one I'm going to do is going to have 3 colors. So I literally must create an entire look using those 3 colors. And, you know, black and white, but we don't count those. Those aren't colors. I don't want to argue with people about this, about black and white not being a color. So I wanted to start off with the traditional rainbow flag, and I came up with this rainbow fairy. I wanted it to have some type of like nature aspect of it. So that's why you see these black branches and these white petals. Now the reason why I chose the black branches is because 1, I thought it was aesthetically pleasing, and 2, because we got a rainbow going on, I think that was the only color that could work. Another reason why I chose this per se like pattern on my chest with the branches is I know that coming out as either bisexual, lesbian, gay, transgender, or any other sexuality that you come out as, not everybody is very accepting of it. You have people who love and adore you. I love and adore everybody. But then you have people who are very much against it. So that's why I came up with the concept of the branches in like kind of like this matter where it's kind of like it's like squeezing me or like constricting me from being who I truly am, which is a magical fairy. I don't call myself that, it's just for this. And I wanted to use the white petals as something that like blooms from a dark place or something on the lines of that, if you get where I'm going with this. Because like sometimes, even though like people are going through some like rough times, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Hence why I use the white petals, being that though yes, there are going to be people who don't necessarily accept you for who you are, there's more than enough people who are willing and openly going to accept you for who you are and love you for who you are. So that's why I came up with this concept. I had a ton of fun doing it. I always have fun doing my body paints, but this one especially was a lot of fun because of the meaning that I was thinking of behind it. I loved how it came out. It's super pretty, super colorful, goes very fun with my rainbow hair. And yeah, so if you guys like to see how I went from a complete 0 to a beautiful rainbow fairy, keep on watching. Also, it would be nice, I'm not asking you, but it would be very nice if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click that notification down below to know when I upload my daily shenanigans. I have a lot of shenanigans. And yes, let's get to it. It's me again with more shenanigans. Look at me dance and show off. Now, I'm gonna start off with the body. So I'm just showing you what colors I'm using. I'm using pink, beachberry, orange, yellow, lime green, light blue, sky blue, I don't remember. The reason why I made that face is I almost dropped like my body paint. For some reason the one I had was kind of loose, so if I like move it too fast, like literally the entire paint thing will fly out. Really funny. So I'm taking a flat foundation brush and I'm starting off with pink. Now I think it's probably because that, excuse me, I'm very tired, black mixed in with it, it came out a little muted, which I didn't like, but what can you do? So I am painting it in. I know you can't necessarily see it right now, and that's only because the gradient effect I wanted pretty much all the colors. So I did pink, red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark well, it wasn't indigo, darker blue, violet. That's how I wanted it. I didn't want to just do the traditional colors, and we were going with a very whimsical type of look today. Or at least as whimsical as my brain can get, because my brain is not very whimsical. So, oh my god. Alright, while I try not to go through my wall. So, I'm just darkening it, because certain colors sometimes tend to come up a little streaky, and it's not intentional, it just happens. But wow, it really looks like I did not just paint anything on me, but I did. I swear I did. I swear. Please don't at me. And I'm making weird faces. I don't know why I'm making weird faces. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to yawn. And I'm looking down a lot. Oh, I was probably looking at my reference pictures. Because a lot during the video, I didn't look up the reference pictures beforehand, so I literally was just like, alright, let me use Google right now and do that. Lord, not my smartest idea. Now I am going in with the next color, which is Beach Berry from my Mehron Paradise Paint palette. I'm just saying, get that palette if you literally are starting body paint. Instead of paying like between $13 and $15 for each individual color, yes, these are a little bit pricey, I would get this. It's $100 and you literally get every color in the entire collection. You get small versions of them, but then you'll know which ones you want to buy, like the full size of. So I already have a full size of black and white because I go through black and white more than dog got fleas, I guess. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. Look how pretty that looks. My one strip of color. So off camera, I filled in the orange, I filled in the yellow, the lime green, and as you see, the initial color I used for the light blue was the Graftobian Paradise Paint one, but for some reason it was coming out really streaky. As you see, like you see how streaky and patchy it is? Now I changed and I went to the Mehron. Do you see how one swipe just made that color just look so much more opaque, and it doesn't look like I just brushed it with my foundation brush a million times. I didn't use the same one foundation brush, I have multiples of it, so it's like, okay, I used one for the warmer tone colors, one for yellow, because I think because it was mixed with the other tones it kind of made that weird orangey yellow, and one for the cooler tones. So as you see, I am taking the brush that I used to paint the green, and now with whatever little product is left on that brush, I'm trying to get rid of that harshness of the line. So you see how the blue and green are not fully connected? I'm going to take the same brush I used for the blue and I'm going to mesh it together so it's not so harsh or stark or whatever. You get my point. We want it to blend. I don't like whenever I'm doing like gradient effects or like, I usually paint in the color in the strip that I want. Then I take a brush, blend it in with the other color. Sometimes you need a little bit of paint and sometimes you don't. It depends on how dry it is. I noticed when I did the green and the yellow, it was a little too dry, so I had to go in with a little bit of paint. And then with the blue, the light blue, since it was still, I would say 75% dry, I was able to mix it in with the green nicely. Now here comes where I'm going to be sitting at weird angles because I cannot see that part of my neck and I needed to do the darker blue. It does, I know it looks very similar. It will dry darker after like I go over it. But do you see what I mean? Sometimes you see how like streaky the blue is, that darker blue is in that one part. Once it's fully dry, I will go back over it. I'll go back over it to clean up, like not necessarily clean up, but like make it more opaque. Because usually I have that issue with blues, purples, sometimes yellow, but mainly blues and purples. Whites can be the same. White could be the same too, but after once, like you go in crisscross motions, you don't go up and down. Once you get like the crisscross method down, you're good. Your paint will come out opaque. But in this, I could not do the crisscross method, so I had to just paint straight down and just go over it painting. Oh God, hiccups. Going straight down. And as you see, it doesn't look patchy. It looks patchy right now because it's still drying, but that's usually how you're able to do that with body paint. So off camera, filled in the purple, and you see how much darker that blue is now? It looks so much deeper. Now I am filling in the branches / swirls I wanted to add. Now the one I am currently working on right now. So when I was painting it, like how you see like my arms kind of like extended out so I can like have everything like match the curves and stuff, if you get what I mean. When my arm was out, it looked fine, but as soon as I brought my arm back to a stationary position, it looks wonky. I tried to fix it, but I had to make do with what I could. Can't do anything about it. It's okay. Now, as far as the branches and the swirly branches, the swirly branches, I had no necessary pattern. I was just going with any random pattern that, I don't know, fit the theme. And I also looked up reference pictures specifically of not super intricate detail branches because I wasn't going for more of a realistic woodland fairy type of creature. Well, I'm the furthest thing from a normal woodland type of fairy creature, but you get my point. So yeah, with these swirls, the thinner ones, I just took a very thin paintbrush I had, dipped it in black body paint, and made the general shape. Once I had the general shape, I went back in with the same brush and thickened up the lines so it didn't look so paper thin. It looked more organic. But I do notice there's a swirl on my shoulder, not my shoulder, in that shoulder area where the blue, the dark blue and the violet meet.
that I forgot to go over. I was like, oh, I'll do it later. Completely forgot about it. Utterly forgot about it. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot about it. And with the thicker branches, I basically just outlined the shape. If I didn't like the shape, I either thickened it up to just make it to the shape that I want. Once I had the shape that I wanted, I filled it in. And if I still didn't like the shape, I used that thicker brush that I used to paint the thicker branches, and you get what I mean. Now, oh God, why am I making such an ugly face? Talia, you will emphasize the smile lines if you keep frowning like that. No, I'm joking. But this is what happens. This is usually the part where, like around my shoulders to my arms, I have a hard time seeing. So that's why you see me like making all those weird faces and weird body angles. Because it's not very comfortable, and it's also not very comfortable painting with my non-dominant hand. Oh, look at all my body paint and my camera battery. I usually keep them in front of me so I can charge my batteries. Like when one dies, I put the other one in the charger. So what I did off the camera, I took a slightly bigger thin paintbrush. They come in different sizes, the ones that I have. And I did the tappy motion for the branches, like the thicker branches, so they have like a bunch of pretty leaves. Then I took the same brush and I made leaves going throughout. Kind of wanted a cherry-y blossom type of leaves because I was looking at different flowers and I thought these would be much more easier because I was going to do roses, but that would have taken too long. And then I did do a few flowers, but I'll shade those in later. Now we are on to the face. So as always, I always start off with my brows because that usually helps me figure out what I exactly want to do with my eye shape or the eyeshadow look I'm going for. It varies. Sometimes I don't need to fill in my brows because my eyebrows will be covered. Still haven't tried the glue stick method. Haven't needed to try it yet because my eyebrows are pretty flat naturally. So usually I can just paint over them and you don't notice them. But hopefully soon I will try the glue stick method. Maybe when I do one of the flags later on in the month, I may need that method. Let me know if you want to see me epically fail at gluing down my brows. So the reason why I am so stinking close in my mirror is because this is the point where I cannot wear my glasses and I can't really see very well. I am nearsighted, yes, but lately, I don't know, my nearsightedness has not been doing the greatest. I don't know, I'm starting to squint more, even though there'll be like people in front of me. So like I remember, for example, I was with my friend at a restaurant, we were eating, and I took off we were on the topic of my glasses and I took them off. And I was like, yeah, I can't see your face. I know you're there, but I can't see your physical features. Sucks. I am very cold because it was very cold that day in my house. So I chose the greatest day to do this makeup and freeze my behind off. So what I am doing now, I am priming my eyes for the eyeshadow using my Maybelline Instant Rewind. This is when I realized your brows, girl, they were looking like distant cousins, more than sisters. So I am taking what is left of my NYX concealer, which will also be the base that I am using for my face again, at least for this look. I usually would use my foundation, but I think a paler base was better for this one, to carve out my brows to make them look at least like sisters instead of distant cousins off in the wind. And you see I am nicely carving them out. Thank you, my friend Risa, for teaching me the ways of carving out the brow because I didn't know how to do this before. I tried it before. Yeah. Let's just go with that. Also, nearly having my whole entire face in my stinking mirror. Man, the back of my mirror looks gross. So what I did off camera was my eyes. So I took a neon pigment from, I believe the Instagram brand is called Makeup by Murder. I'm not sure. I'll put everything in the description. I love these neon pigments. They're life, but they are messy. So I had to put like these little like under eye shadow shieldy mabob things that you can probably get like at Amazon or something, so I don't get a bunch of eyeshadow on my face. Took the pink one, hate pink, and put that all over my lid, and then I took the Sugarpill Poison Plum shadow and blended it in. Didn't like it, so I chose the neon purple pigment in that set. Put on nice, elegant wing liner. Now we on the face. Put on my matte primer by Pacifica and my poreblem primer by Touch of Soul. Slap that on my face. Now we're taking the very little to none remnants of my NYX concealer. I had literally just bought a new one like yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, the day before yesterday, because I literally was scraping the life out of this container. Like, I literally had little to none left. So you see I'm putting it on in sections. Usually I would just slap it all on my face, but I didn't have much left, so that's why. Also, I believe this one dries a little quickly. My back hurts. So I have to work at a section at a time, because I think I tried doing it all at once and that didn't go well. It did not. So, and I was showing my mom and she was just like, oh Lord, you really like that concealer. And I'm pretty picky when it comes down to concealers, so yes I do. It's not too drying on my face, because sometimes when I have too many matte things on, it can come off cakey. Like this one, no. But I did notice, and I don't know why, maybe because the weather is changing, my nose had dry patches on it. Oh my God, I was super triggered by that. So I spoke to my teacher about it, my esthetician's teacher about it, and she told me what I can do to get rid of the dry patches on my nose. Because before, when I would get extractions, nose, beautiful, makeup, smooth like butter going on. But last week and this week, the same thing happened. Don't like that. So we're gonna fix that. I was trying to fix it, but yeah. And I have to go over some areas because I didn't have a lot, as you see. So after I at least get the base for the most part down, I'm gonna go in with my Morphe concealer in the shade White, highlight the highest points of my face, and man oh man, at this one point I put way too much on. I forgot how little you need of this product. Do you see that giant white strip? And that's when I was like, oh Lord, I put way too much on. So she was blending for a while. Then I set everything with my Coty Air Sponge Translucent Powder, called it a day. Now what I did off of camera, put on blush, had it from this pretty blush palette that I got from my BoxyCharm last month, contoured with the Sugarpill Poison Plum eyeshadow, and now I'm taking my Wet n Wild highlighter, I believe it's the color Caught in Your Webs, and highlighting the high points of my face. I also went in with the Naked palette just to add a little bit more shimmer. I did put a little bit on my shoulders, but I didn't need much because I didn't want there to be a bunch of shiny nonsense on my chest and shoulders and you can't see it. So yeah, okay, so what I did off camera, put on lashes, put on mascara, put white in my waterline to give me the dolly eye effect, put on some bottom lashes, add some freckles, and added this pretty jewel piece that I got, like jewel sticky thingy that you get at festivals, on my forehead. And I also smoked out my bottom lash line with Zip Purple. I did a gradient lip with this really pretty Korean matte lipstick I had. So I put color in the center of my lip, blended it out with my finger, and threw on my wigs, painted my ears, hate painting my ears. And yeah, this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Can't wait to see you next week when I do my pansexual flag inspired makeup. So I'll see you then. Bye.
So, these are the usual shenanigans that I do. I have to say, very, very overall happy with how it came out. We had some hiccups along the way, like the yellow. I don't know why. It doesn't look like a true yellow. It's more like it's like an orangey yellow, which was triggering my soul, but I couldn't do anything about it, so I made it work. Great. When you try to make a funny and have a serious heart-to-heart conversation with you, yourself, and I, and your phone rings. Bruh. But yeah, I really like how it came out. I love my cute little elf ears. What was it? I actually got them off of Amazon. I had an old pair, but they were literally like plastic. They were horrible. They didn't fit my ear. They were god awful, and they were the worst to paint. Literally, I think the only thing I could paint them was black. So luckily, a person I follow on Instagram happened to do a look where she had some really beautiful elf ears. So I asked her where she got them from, and she DM'd me the link, and I picked up 2 pairs. I have one that's covered in like, I painted it because it was supposed to be my skin tone, so I used foundation, because these aren't actually my skin tone. If you see the back of the ear, this is what the actual skin tone looks like, but you can always paint it, and because I use water activated paint, I literally can just wash it off. But here comes the annoying part. I had to paint my ear. I cannot stand painting my damn ear, because no matter what, I'm going to have paint in my ear for the next 2 or 3 days. I have class tomorrow, and I know for a fact somebody's gonna be like, why is the inside of your ear purple? Because I painted myself yesterday, and yes, I washed myself, but getting paint out of your ear is a pain in the butt.